There we go. Okay, good.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to start all over again. Hello, I am Tara, and this is my mom, Jill, who's visiting from Kansas. We are talking about moving today because after 5 long years, we finally found a house to move to. Has all our qualifications except for one, which is out in the country, but you know, what do you do?
Yeah, but it feels sort of like that. So the whole town feels kind of
So anyway, we are talking about moving today and tips and tricks on how to make your moving easier. Please ignore the mowing if you can hear it. The boys are mowing because we start showing our house tomorrow. It goes on the market, so we're getting it all spiffied up and we've run out of time. So we are going to give your moving tips. My moving tip number 1 is to get rid of every single thing you can get rid of. I've made a trip to the dump. I have overflowed our trash 2 weeks, and I tipped the trash guys really well to take it all. And we are having 50% off all our books, every single print book,
I could help
and
you.
the financial planners, which we hope to get rid of too. So if you guys want a book, that's my little short ad because we have still about 3,000 or so books left, and we really, really do not want to move them. So everything, including our ebooks, is 50% off. So if you want the ebooks, because we know all our European friends, the shipping is like $50 for one book. That's all the post office charges me. Sorry, guys. But 50% off everything, including our financial planners. A lot of people don't know we still have financial planners, but our financial planners are 50% off too. So what did you want to say about getting rid of stuff?
Well, one thing, Tara and I kind of know a little, we've had practice at this. I've moved about 35 times, and I've moved the kids about 15 times.
35 times?
Yes.
Well, her parents were in the military.
And I moved the kids about 15 times, my son and daughter together. So we kind of have this down pat of what to do. And like Tara said, one of the main things is to get rid of everything. But first of all, before you start doing that, you need to get some boxes, because you have to have boxes to put those, you know, all that stuff. Well,
which is why we're selling the books.
So you can get boxes.
And somebody asked, how long is the sale? Until we're sold out. We only have about probably 100 volume 2 left, and I forgot to do inventory before the show. So we only have about 100 maybe dining 2s left, but we have perfect book boxes.
Mm-hmm.
And where I find boxes is on Facebook Marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
I put my boxes, my moving boxes on there. Look on Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace for free moving boxes.
Yeah. And I went to the Dairy Queen, and they had a pile of them sitting outside the building. I just said, can I have those? And they said, yes, you can find them everywhere. Now, the ones I like,
grocery store in the morning when they're stocking.
What I like the best is the kind that the lid lifts off. I call them Xerox boxes, but they are, the printers get paper in them, and sometimes you can get them from work, that type of thing where you can just lift the lid off. Those are my favorite, because you don't, if I move and I have these boxes sitting around, I can just, BJ just walked in. I haven't seen him yet since I got here.
Didn't realize you're supposed to be here.
Yep. So I could just lift those lids off instead of trying to untape this box and that box to see what's in there and figure out. I can just lift the lid off and use stuff out of the box very easily if I have the ones that with the lid coming off. You can also get banana boxes. Go to your produce guy at the grocery store, like Tara said, and they lift off too, and they work really, really good. And so get your boxes already.
Copy boxes, like if there's copy shops, like Staples, Office Depot, if they have a copy shop, their copy boxes are good.
Yeah, keep your eyes open. You can go by a dumpster and see lots of boxes. I usually try to go in and ask them and say, can I have some of your boxes? And even at like Walmart and stuff, I'll be walking along and they'll be stocking and there's boxes. And I just say, can I have your boxes? And they want to get rid of them. Don't feel awkward asking, because then that's less work for them.
Well, and like us, you know, we're book printers. And so about once a month, I put free moving boxes on Facebook Marketplace, and I probably have 20 people every time asking for them. So don't feel awkward about asking. I'm glad to get them done.
Yeah, people want to get rid of them. And so once you get the boxes, why you want the boxes is as you're decluttering and pulling things out, you're going to need boxes. You can put this stuff right in there, some of them to pack. You can take, if you're going to take things like to the trash or something, you can use some boxes, you know, to put the bigger, more awkward stuff to the thrift store you're taking it. So that's why you need the boxes first before you start decluttering. And then you got to be ruthless. I mean, you start going through stuff and think about this stuff. I'm going from Kansas to Wyoming. I have clothes.
Oh, that sounds weird.
I know.
That sounds even weirder than when you moved from Kansas to Idaho. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
But I can wear different. It's too hot in Kansas for me to wear certain clothes. And so, but I don't need to wear them up in Wyoming. So I will get rid of all the clothes, even though I like them and love them and they still fit me. There's no use me dragging clothes that aren't appropriate, you know, for up there. So think through that. If the clothes are too small, like our basic organizing.
Yeah, I went through, so just 2 days ago, I went through everything in Jack's closet. Anything that that we weren't positive was too small, he tried it on. I know they hate it, but it takes 10, 15 minutes for them to try it on. He tried on everything. I took 2 bags of clothes only because he went from he went from a boy's 16 to a men's medium. And so we had a big jump there. And back door, please. And so just go and do it.
Yeah.
Have the kids do it.
Well, it's easier than having to pack it up and carry it, take it up someplace and unload it and find out it's not going to work. Do you know probably almost 1/3 of the people that move that I've helped, well, you know, that I've helped move are different people. And I've done it myself. When I get to where I'm at, I'm thinking, why did I bring this? Yes, you can tell.
I do it every time.
I know.
I probably take 5 to 10 loads to the thrift store after I move.
Yeah. And so be real. This time I'm being very, very ruthless. You know, I've got sewing. I've got fabric. If that's not gut wrenching, you sewers know what I mean. To get rid of your stash.
Is that like me getting rid of my plant stuff?
It's just like horrible. And I started out, and it gets easier the more you do it. The more by day 2, you're starting to get a little tired. You're sick of packing boxes. So what you do is, I went through my sewing room and I thought, well, I can take this. Fabric's getting expensive. I better keep it. I can't go to Joann's anymore. I was justifying everything. The first day, even the second part of the second day, by that afternoon, I was so tired. I thought, what am I dragging this around? I've had it 40 years. I haven't used it yet. Why am I taking it with me?
You still have the rickrack from my pajamas.
I still have the rickrack.
that you made when I was 5.
I know. I've got scraps from your pajamas that I made when you were 5.
Anna says use that fabric to wrap things.
Well, yeah,
so,
we're going to get to that. But
yeah.
see, I've got enough that I could wrap 3 households in my stuff. So you have to get rid of old rickrack that you're not probably, it's starting to rot, you know, that type of thing. I have all kinds of stuff, old lace that's just a weird color.
Yeah.
Be ruthless. And that's another thing. Well, I'm going to get into another section about what to use for packing, because I have never bought, the only thing I've ever bought for packaging or boxes or any packing material whatsoever has been, I bought a couple of rolls of tape and I brought a box of trash bags. I don't normally use trash bags, so I bought these trash bags. And I'll explain what I use the trash bags for later on. But that's why I like the lids, the boxes with the lids that lift off. You don't have to tape the boxes on top of that. So you're wasting tape, you know, and time doing that. And when I do, well, since she mentioned that, I'll go ahead and tell you how to do things for packaging, why I never buy packaging. When I go in my bedroom, I have a tiny chest of drawers. It's not very big, that I move all the time. I keep that one. I take out of my chest of drawers and my closet 2 weeks worth of clothes and put in a suitcase, because those are the clothes I'm going to take with me in the car. I don't have to worry about unpacking the clothes right away and that type of thing. If something happens, I get stranded. I've got clothes. One time I had to put all my clothes in the storage shed for 6 months, and I had to use that 2 weeks worth of clothes until I could get them out of there. So you never know. So I do 2 suitcases with 2 weeks worth of clothes. Then that empties the drawers out a little bit. Then I take any of my knickknacks in the bedroom, say, and I wrap them in the leftover undies, the leftover socks, the leftover t-shirts. I wrap knickknacks from there. And since I don't have that many, I can even put some knickknacks from the living room and other room in that chest of drawers. I don't need a box. I'm not packing a box. And the chest of drawers won't be too heavy because we pull the drawers out, the guys load it onto the truck, and then we put the drawers back in. Yeah. They're more protected, no taping,
I
no
was
packaging.
horrified when I saw a professional moving show.
Take the clothes out.
And they took everything out of the chest of drawers.
I know.
Like, what are you thinking?
Yeah, you're going to have to move the chest of drawers. You shouldn't be moving them empty. I can save 2 boxes just by filling my chest of drawers
and
with
even
stuff.
like bookcases. I have a bookcase out there where there's weird things like vaporizers. Okay, we live in a dry climate. We have to have a vaporizer, and I don't want to have to go buy a new one. So it fits perfectly on that bookshelf. I don't need to pack it. I can just set it on that bookshelf, and we'll put the bookshelf in there and just set it on there.
Exactly. And in my basement, you know those plastic drawers you can get? They're about 3 drawers. They're the cheapy old plastic
Walmart
things
ones,
at Walmart. I've got 2 of those in my sewing room. So what I did was, instead of packing my fabric in boxes or any of that stuff, I put it in those drawers because they take up as much space as a box would holding that stuff. So now when I arrive, I've got a lot of my sewing stuff in those 2 different sections of drawers. And like she said, you can I use my fabric for everything to wrap things in. I use pillowcases. I use the bath towels and wash rags, my linens, tablecloths. When I go to the kitchen to do the kitchen, I will wrap most of my kitchen items I get wrapped up with dish towels and washcloths, hot pan holders. If I got a stack of paper plates, instead of getting rid of them, I put them in between plates. And then I have paper plates when I get to the new house if I need to use them. I also use my coffee filters. I just divide like 3 or 4 coffee filters and put them in the bowls inside the bowl.
And you can wrap little things like my gnomes that I love, that I don't want broken, in cups like this. If you already have them, like I got a whole stash of these from my grandma, mom's mom, who just moved. So little things like my really special gnomes that I've gotten, I'll put them in something like this. And then just put, Jack's old shirt or something in there. Yeah. I mean, not the whole thing, but cut off a piece.
And to save room too, when I am doing stuff in the kitchen, I have some special glass canisters that I paid a little bit extra for. I don't want to get rid of those. And be careful when you put anything in a glass container because it does break easily. But if you wrap it well enough, it's okay. So in those glass canisters, I could maybe put like a bowl and, wrap it up. Then I set a mug in there and I can put a couple of spices in there and put those all inside the canister. Instead of just setting that canister in the box empty, I fill it up with as many different things, whatever I find.
All right. So how do you get rid of stuff? Okay. When we say get rid of it, I don't care how you get rid of it. Donate it, trash it, have a garage sale, just get it out of your house. I don't know why people have a problem with this. Every single time we say get rid of it, somebody says, well, how do you get rid of it?
You
just get it out of your house. I don't care if you donate it. I don't care if you trash it. I don't care if you have a garage sale. I have taken stuff to the thrift store. I have taken stuff to the dump, and I have put a whole bunch of stuff. I just made about $750 this week on Facebook Marketplace, selling a whole bunch of stuff that we don't want to take with us. And so whatever method is best, and I'll tell you, I have absolutely no problem. If you can't take it to the thrift store, just take it to the dump.
Then you need to. Because
that's what you got to do.
I've got a chest, and I've been stewing over it. Tara used that chest. She paid nothing for it.
I got it for free. I loved it.
Yeah, and she had a large chest of drawers, and she got it for nothing. She used it for years and years. And then when she moved, it went to my son, who used it for his daughter for years and years. And then I took it, and I've used it for years and years. We have got a lot of use out of that thing. Why should I feel guilty because I don't sell it or whatever? So what I do, sometimes I'll put a sign, set it outside and put a sign for free, or $10.
Yeah, set it. If you live in a busy neighborhood like us, just put, and here's a big tip.
And somebody's using it. I feel good because somebody's
But here's a tip. Okay, put it on the curb for free. But if somebody doesn't take it, put it on the curb for $10 and then they'll take it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what happened to my
I
brother.
know,
That's
I
what
know.
happened to my brother. He put it on the curb for free and nobody would take it. And he put like $5 on it and somebody stole it.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, we usually start with selling it if we can,
Yeah.
then give it away if it's useful, and if nobody will take it either way, then we'll.
Then we dump it.
And also our DAV, I call them and they will
They'll
come
pick it
and
up.
take and pick it up for you. So
Yeah.
you can have some of the charities will come and pick it up, send a truck and everything and
Yeah.
haul the big stuff out for you.
Yeah. All right, next one.
Next tip. I was on a roll here.
Oh,
Now-
first, Jonathan passed. Our faithful viewer, Jonathan, passed his test with flying colors.
Oh,
Yay!
Everybody give him a round of
Way to
applause.
Everybody give
go.
him a big
Yeah.
thumbs up. Jonathan's one of our regulars. We love Jonathan.
Oh, that is
he's looking
good.
for ideas on how to count down the last 100 and some days of school. So if anyone has good ideas, like visual.
Lay out 100 pieces of chocolate
There you go.
and eat one piece
each
every day.
There you go. And Denise said for boxes, she went to the Red Cross. I didn't know they had
Well, yeah,
boxes,
any place
so-
that has supplies,
Yeah,
any
so
place
that's a
that
great
gets
idea.
supplies delivered.
Yeah,
do
that's
that.
a great idea.
And so, when you do the boxes now the kids, they don't agree with me totally on this. They think it's overkill, and it is overkill. But I've had so much trouble picking through boxes that I do my boxes this way. I mark all 5 sides. I write what's in there on all 5 sides. See,
I don't.
they don't.
I do the top and one side. I don't have the time to do.
Because
all
what
5
happens is my stuff gets put in a storage shed or packed in a garage, and usually the writing is faced back to the wall. And I never can figure out, so I have to unload box after box, and I can't keep lifting all these heavy boxes. Just try to see what's there. I can't see it because it's not facing out. And usually I can see it right away if I just pull a couple out. So
Yeah.
I write everything. And it's not as hard as you think, because also what I do on the boxes is I'll put a big red K for kitchen. So the people unloading will know to set that box in the kitchen for me instead of just stacking everything in the floor in the living room. Or if it's a bedroom, I'll put BE1, in other words, the master bedroom, or BE2, that type of thing, or LI for living room.
So for me, I write master or Dave or Jack
Yeah.
or kitchen or basement or garage is how I do it.
And I don't know if you guys mentioned it, but we also try to mark each box on 3 different sides at least.
Yeah,
That's
we
what
were
I was
talking
saying.
Okay.
To mark
Yeah.
all the way around and the top. But then I'm going to try something new this year. This move, not this year, this move. I have a bunch of cans of spray paint I need to get rid of. So I have the boxes that the lids lift off, like I said. So I think I'm just going to line up like half a dozen boxes, spray paint them yellow, and then say anything with the yellow lid goes in the garage, so they don't have to read. Sometimes guys, when they're I love you, Michael, I love you. But when guys move, they only have parts of their brains working. So if they spot the yellow, then they can associate that better than having to read the letter K on there. I had to do that.
For which thing are you talking
For
about?
moving, for the boxes, when you're unloading,
Yeah.
in other words, and taking it into the house so you'll know which room to put the stuff in.
Yeah.
So, and maybe red for kitchen or something like that. So I do like to mark the boxes. I also take a notebook if there's a whole bunch of little things in there, and I'll mark A on the box. And then in this notebook, I'll put box A, and I'll write down all the things that are in there. And instead of writing them all the way, everything all the way around the box, I'll put A or the number 1. And then I can just look in my notebook and I know that is in there.
Now, I will say, we have a Moving on a Dime ebook. It's $1, guys.
Oh,
$1.
listen, it has all these tips.
And let me tell you,
more.
it's
It
got
is worth it.
$5,000 worth of information
Yeah.
in there. So if you're moving, go check out our Moving on a Dime ebook. Also, real quick, while we're just having a break, everything is 50% off. Our financial planners, our Dining on a Dime cookbooks, volume 1 and 2, and our gluten-free cookbook, all of them. Guys, we are almost out of volume 2. I bet we'll sell out tonight on volume 2. So volume 2 is almost gone, but I do have about 1,500 of gluten-free and dining 1 left. So
Actually,
50% off, just so you know.
You've got Moving on a Dime on the dollar deal, so it's like
Yep.
80-something% off.
I know. That's what I said. It's a really good deal.
Stinking good deal.
Jonathan gave you $25 for gas money.
Oh, thank you.
Now she can get a Dairy Queen on the way.
Now I get a Dairy Queen on the way. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Jonathan. That's so sweet of
he's
you.
so
We've got the
sweet.
best viewers. We really do. I look at other YouTube stuff or live streams, and I'm thinking, we are so lucky with our viewers.
Yes.
They're so sweet.
We have very nice people.
We do. And are there any questions while we're pausing?
Well, there's tons and tons of questions, but I don't know if we're going to be able to get to them all.
Well, you wanna
Actually,
answer
we'll
a
probably
few?
have to just shoot a few videos and answer some of them. So they want to know how far you're moving from us. About 100 feet. Seriously.
Decided that?
So she's probably going to move into our basement or our garage until
That's
she can
my life,
find-
Is there a dog
BJ. They're
house?
sticking me down in the.
Oh!
What'd you say? What'd you
Said,
say?
is there a doghouse?
Is there a dog
It's
house?
mother-in-law quarters.
Oh, you
say
guys
boo.
pray for me real hard here.
Oh, I get along well with my mother-in-law.
So she's either going to live in our garage or in our basement. The garage has a full bathroom and a sink and everything. So,
The
Get
basement is
RV.
nicer.
so which kids are
A lot
moving
nicer.
to Wyoming? So BJ and Ellie are staying in Colorado, and Dave and Jack are moving to Wyoming. But BJ and Ellie are planning on coming up there eventually. So they have stuff that they're doing right now that they want to finish up and jobs that they're enjoying. So they're going to stay down here for a while. And no, they're not going to be roommates. Or at least I don't think they are at the moment. They may have something that I don't know about. So let's see. Shipping on the cookbooks is about $6 or so each. These puppies, the volume 1 is 5 pounds, and the volume 2 and the gluten-free are 4 pounds, so they're not light. That is just the shipping that it costs
I mean,
us.
they are really heavy.
So,
I have to
yeah.
use 2 hands.
So
If you
don't-
want- if
They're
you want
like a bag of flour.
If you want the exact price for your location, if you go to the store and add it to the cart and put your address in,
Yeah.
it'll tell you how much.
Yeah.
Just don't put your credit card in if you don't want to buy it.
Yeah,
on
just
the
don't put,
credit card.
yeah, you can just put everything in, all your information in before your credit card, and it'll tell you the exact shipping. And then if you want to buy it, put your credit card in.
Mhm.
Okay, what's your next tip, or do you have one?
Well, just some little piddly things. For example, I don't use a whole lot of rope. What I do is I have an old worn out sheet usually that I will tear long strips off the sheet. Then if you have to roll up a rug to take or something, you can tie the rug up in different spots with that. If you have like several rods, like curtain rods or something you're maybe taking with you, you can tie those up with the sheets. If you have fabric, lots of fabrics, save the just went out of my head. You guys know what
Oh, the plastic bags?
I can't believe I can't remember. The salvage. Save the salvage when you
yeah.
cut it off. Those are so strong, and they can tie a lot of things together, because you'll find you need to bundle sometimes. Tools in the garage need to be bundled up, and so do that. So save those strips, because I never buy rope. Now we use probably about 3 or 4, don't we, Michael? Ropes when we load up stuff on the van or on the U-Haul.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, we tie ropes every so many feet.
Yeah,
to
that's
prevent
why
things from falling or shifting around. Yeah.
So what we do is we put things on the U-Haul is you put the heaviest stuff first at the back, and you have to fill in every little spot. Why things break and get shifted around is because
It's not packed
it's
tight.
not packed tight. I mean, if you've got 2 inches, you've got to fill in that 2 inches. Stuff a pillow. This is a good way. Don't pack those blankets or the pillows and stuff. You use them to
Now,
stuff in.
I do pack my really nice
If it's
quilts
your good
that Mom's
quilts,
made
yeah.
me. I put those, I save
Special
old
ones.
comforter bags, and I put them in old comforter bags. My really nice quilts, like quilts that Mom made, that I have on my couch and stuff. Those I don't use for packing.
Yeah. See,
But-
that's what I use the trash bags for, is to put in because if you put them in a trash bag, you can still put them in, maybe the quilts or something, but certain things you can put in the plastic bag and they're protected. And then you put them in those holes that are a whole box won't fit in, but you can put like a shovel in some of those really small places, things like that. And also in the plastic.
Toilet paper.
Yeah. You should see your toilet paper. I can't believe how much toilet paper. Do I dare tell them what Dave said?
BJ, take your phone and go
Dave,
take a picture of my toilet paper downstairs real quick.
When I just walked in, they were showing me how clean they made the downstairs and everything, the boys were. And there was this pile, this hill of toilet paper. And I said, oh my goodness, Dave, look at the toilet paper. He said, well, we're going through it fast now, Nan, because we got rid of the bidet.
There was a day of mourning when the bidet went.
Have mercy. Mike took down the bidets yesterday, and you would have thought Buster had died. They were like, well, Buster did die. I guess that was a bad analogy. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
One thing, though, I think you were saying it already, but when you talked about tying with stuff, I said we tie ropes like every so many feet in the truck to keep things from moving. But if the truck isn't totally full, at the very back of the stuff, we tie a whole bunches of ropes across.
Well, put the mattress on the back.
First.
Yeah, to keep
everything. I was getting
to
that. I haven't got that far yet. The trash bags I said I bought earlier, what I do is put kids' stuffed bags in it, or stuffed animals. You can tell I've been driving. I just got in about an hour and a half before we started. But I put stuffed animals in it, anything soft like that, maybe winter coats, big bulky ones. Stick them into the trash bags and then put them in those holes.
Yeah.
And then
I need a picture of the toilet paper.
You go out in the truck, you pack up about
right there
4 or 5 feet out into the truck, and then you put something flat. If you have more than one mattress, put a mattress up there and rope it off, and then you start repacking again, and then you put another mattress if you have it. If you only have one mattress, like for me, we'll rope it off every 5 feet or whatever, and then we at the very end push the mattress in and put the mattress at the very end, and that's how we pack the truck. And do it. So, is there any more specific questions?
Well,
what were you laughing at?
Jonathan says, "What? The Cheek Chiller 3000 is gone?"
That's good.
It will rise again.
It will rise again. But guys, you got to see this. So this is my COVID TP from.
Wait till you see
If
this.
you show that longer, you're probably going to get fired up.
Okay. Let's see. Can you see it? Can they see that?
Yes. Oh my goodness. Wow. Yes.
Dave
Was that
said
after you gave some to the kids?
That's after I already gave a whole bunch to Ellie and the neighbors. And somebody said, "How do you pack up your pantry?" One thing I do, because I have a lot of prepping stuff and all that kind of stuff, and I have a lot of stuff. My neighbors have been really extremely helpful to us here. I mean, one neighbor, every year he will come blow out our sprinklers for us. And if we need a tool, he's always letting us borrow it. If we have a problem, if we have a flat tire, he gets out his compressor and blows it up for us. So I'm having his wife come down and just shop and take whatever she wants, just as a thank you for helping us out for 10 years.
Yeah.
And so that's one thing I do. But then just put it in boxes like other regular stuff.
Yeah, and what I do, Tara, we don't have a book box here, do we? Tara's book boxes aren't too big. So what I would do is I have like my peaches in a little flat, like a little cardboard flat, like they have at the grocery store. And so I will have all those canned peaches in that flat, and then I just set them right into the box, you know, because then I only have to lift one thing out whenever I go to unpack or pack. And so you can do it that way. And by using a little bit smaller boxes, they're not too heavy. If you do have to use a little bit bigger box, put like 2 layers, 3 layers of canned goods, and then put something really light on top, like, lightweight, I don't know, something just like a couple of
like decorative pillows.
That you're not, because you don't want to get messed up and things.
Stuffed animals, the
coats,
kids,
and that once again another winter coat.
hanging clothes,
baskets. If you got wicker baskets that you really. Now I'm getting rid of most of my wicker baskets, or a lot of them, but there's some I really like, and I don't want to do that. So
BJ's cup he's had for 8 years just broke. Well, that's one less thing
the sign
to move.
you're supposed to move.
One last thing to move.
Also, another thing on the pantry, I was teasing Tara earlier. what I'm doing now is if I'm using stuff out of my pantry as much as I can, and I'm going in there and I'm looking, I'm thinking, okay, what's the biggest can on here that I can eat?
Yeah.
I may not want to have it for dinner,
And-
but it's the biggest can, so I'm going to empty it
And
first.
start eating everything out of the freezer and fridge, and
Yeah.
don't buy any more.
Yeah, that's
Don't
what I'm
go-
doing.
Don't go shopping and buy what you want to eat. Buy what you need to eat
What-
to get rid
you know,
of the food.
you
So, you know, like I've been making chicken every night, and everybody's getting kind of sick of it. But I'm sorry, that's what
We
we're
gotta
having
eat it,
until
yeah.
it's gone. So,
Like we had chicken at work today.
see, mom's chicken is better, isn't it?
I have jars of applesauce. Well, they're bigger, so I'm eating the applesauce instead of the jars of peaches because they're tiny. So
Yeah.
that's how I'm doing it.
Yeah, Amazing Grace. Question: I have the first Living on a Dime cookbook and the 20th anniversary also. Which cookbook would I get next? So the 20th anniversary and the first one is the volume 1. Can you close the back door, please?
Okay.
Then the next one is volume 2.
That's
So,
all different.
Probably volume
This one
2.
is totally different, all brand new recipes. So
Volume 2.
how did the mowing go?
I was gonna ask.
Oh,
Here, now you keep entertaining.
I'm keep
Okay.
entertained. What do you want me to do to entertain, Dave?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, just put them in there. That's good. Thank you.
Uh,
All right.
I have not put my house on the market yet because I just found
Oh.
out.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Why? What were you going to say?
Well, is this the time to announce that Michael thinks that July 1st is a good time for you to move to?
Oh, my word.
Well, no, I was just
Oh, my
thinking.
word.
Close the door.
I just found this out a couple of days ago that I'm going to be moving.
I didn't
So-
say I think it. I
so-
said I'm okay with
So
it.
he said he thinks that's good. So July 1st is when you're
So
moving.
now they're wanting me to get everything together. I'm doing all this by myself now, totally alone.
I told you I
No
would come
kids.
back.
And getting the whole house that I've lived 18 years in packed up and
Wow.
that type of thing and ready to move. And they want me to do it. And the house on the market to sell, ready to sell.
You can do it, Mom.
Oh, listen to you. So I am going to put the house on the market. I'm right now, I started just 2 days ago, starting to go through, like I said, my sewing room and that type of thing. And I was trying, this is another thing. You got to think through some of this stuff. I started in the garage, first of all, because it's so hot in Kansas this time of year usually, but it's been really cold. So I was trying to get as much done in the garage before I came out here because I don't want to have to be out in the heat. It's just too hot, you know. So I started doing stuff like that already. And then the next worst thing is, like I said, my sewing room. It's just having to get rid of stuff and things is going to be kind of hard.
Well,
So-
and that's been my biggest problem. And I don't remember. So my computer's been gone, guys. So if you emailed me, I have gotten no email. But my assistant told me someone in Denver offered to come help me pack.
Oh, that's
Thank
nice.
you.
Yeah,
I appreciate
that's
that.
so sweet.
The problem is I need help, but I can't really get help because it's kind of stuff I just have to go through myself and just say dump, 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 dump. You know what I mean? So the boys have been helping me a lot, but I appreciate the offer. Thank you so much.
That is so
I really
nice
appreciate
of you.
it.
Yeah, to offer to.
But right now it's more just I have to just go through everything, you know.
it is kind
And it's hard because I'm the one who has to decide. I can't tell
Make it-
Mike go through the soap room and figure out what we need to keep, you know.
So it's stuff like that. But one thing too, it won't be too bad because Tara's been looking at houses for 5 years, so I have automatically been going through a lot of stuff all along, getting rid of. So it's not quite as bad as it could be. So
yeah, and Mike and I are thinking, man, maybe we should be minimalists.
I know I decided that too. I thought, well, you know, one thing that makes it easy for me in getting rid of some of this stuff is in my mind, I'm thinking I'm going to start fresh. I'm going to have different colors. Well, if I can get me a house, that's the only thing about living in a basement, like Tara and Mike's basement. I don't mind living with them necessarily, but it won't ever be my house. You know, I don't want to paint their walls. I don't want to hang things on there. I always feel like I'm kind of company there. I can't tear out the bathroom, you know, and remodel it. And so that's the only thing. I'll stay there for maybe at least a year till I find something. But it helps me getting rid of stuff. Like I had to dump. I have had fake flowers that I have drug with me from move to move to move. And I use them. I really use them. That's why I haven't gotten rid of them. And I thought, not this time. And I dumped them all into the trash, or a part of them, the ones that were kind of getting frayed, then other ones I gave away. But I got rid of them all. And I hated to do it, but I kept telling myself, I'm starting fresh. I'm going to start with new colors, new things. I've saved and saved and saved for this for years. So I've got a little bit of money saved that I can replace, and I'm not going hog wild. I put back maybe $100, $200 that, for example, I've got some mixing bowls. They're big, and this is where you need to think things through. I could get mixing bowls probably for $5 or less at Walmart. And so to take that big, huge thing of mixing bowls with me, it's not hardly worth it for me to do all the hauling. I got to pick and choose what I really want to keep. And if I can get some at a Dollar Tree, for not very much, for $5, I can replace, a lot of stuff. Or at a thrift store, I can replace a lot of stuff for $5 at a thrift store and things. So really think through and put it in your mind. I'm starting fresh. I get to do new colors. And you're more willing to get rid of the old stuff that has the old colors. You see what I mean? And
Yeah, I'm almost to the point where I almost want to go through all the boxes again and dump some more.
Well, I was going to say, when you got, like with my fabric, that's exactly what I did. I started out and I was so tired, and I thought, what am I doing here hauling all these boxes of fabric?
Yeah.
I have t-shirt material that's 50 years old. 50 years old, and I haven't used it yet. But so I still haven't gotten rid of it. But
You probably used it to make me pajamas.
I did. I made a lot of stuff with it. But the thing is, I was getting tired, and I thought, I just have to let it go. And I hear a lot of people that move and they've gone ahead and got rid of all this stuff. They say it's kind of like getting rid of your debt is what it is. When you get rid of this stuff, it's like this burden. You have to take care of that stuff all the time. You have to clean it. You have to dust it. You have to find a place to store it. It's a lot of work and responsibility. You have to worry if your basement's going to flood. You got to get it up off the floor. So in a way, it's kind of a relief. It's kind of letting your children grow up and leave home. Type of thing.
All right, guys, one more announcement real quick. Please don't make us move at sale. I know I keep announcing it, but guys, we have 3,000 books still left that we really don't want to move. So we made them 50% off, guys. The only other time we've ever had our books 50% off was our last move 10 years ago. So if you want Christmas gifts, whatever, graduation gifts,
Wedding gifts, shower gifts,
bridal showers, whatever, gluten-free.
Even for new moms, when they're tired, it'll be something for them fun to look to.
Volume 2 is almost sold out, but we have about 1,500 left of Volume 1. And gluten-free, dairy-free, we have about 1,500 of these left, and about 1,500 of our financial planners left. And so please, we really just don't want to move them. So we're giving you guys a really stinking good deal, 50% off. Okay, now a couple of tips to make moving less stressful, if that's possible. Okay, first of all, don't. Mike's right. But first of all, I have this here for a reason. Do you know why I have this here? Because I have packed all of our plates and everything, so we're not tempted to use them. And I am just using paper plates, paper bowls, and paper cups. That's all we're using right now. We cannot be dealing with a dishwasher load full of dishes every single day right now. Just me having to get onto the kids, not get onto them, but just remind them to unload it is not something else I need on my brain. Use it. Paper napkins, everything. Paper towels. I hardly ever use paper towels. Now I'm using them. Using it all. The next thing, when you're decluttering, clear your paths. Okay? This one yesterday, I was like, not following my own advice. They took pictures of the house yesterday. And we had to throw everything in the garage that wasn't done yet. Well, all the paths got filled up, and we couldn't walk in the garage to get the garage cleared. If you're cleaning your bedroom closet, keep a path clear. If you're cleaning your kitchen, keep a path clear. Don't put anything in the path. That's extra energy you're expending having to step over stuff. It's extra energy you're having to expend in your mind. I don't want to trip over that. Those kinds of little stressors, you say, well, that's not that big of a deal. It's a huge deal when you have to make
so much,
50 trips back and forth, and you have to remember every time not to trip over the 4 things, 5, 10, 20 things in the middle of the path.
And don't do regular cleaning.
No.
Now you have to maybe clean the bathroom, of course, just to keep sanitary level a little bit, and the kitchen counters, cabinets a little bit. But don't worry about vacuuming and dusting and doing all this cleaning that you normally do. That stuff's going to have to go a little bit because you're in chaos. You just can't do that type of thing.
And so somebody said you might want to Google the thrift stores that are available. We've already checked that out, and there's already a good number of thrift stores. But when we go up for the inspection, we're going to go check all the thrift stores and see, okay, does this one have furniture? Does this one have lamps? Does this one have whatever? So we can know, okay, yeah, we're downsizing from a big metro area. I mean, we live in the Denver metro area, 3 million people, and we're downsizing to a much smaller city. And so that's one thing we are doing is going in to check all that.
Because we need to know what we have to take with us or leave. Because if we can't get it up there, we're going to have to take it with us. So this is kind of the exception on moving.
And another thing for meals, after you used up all of your freezer food and your refrigerator food, live on pizza for 2 weeks if you need to. Really, I am okay with that, but not delivery pizza. Calculate how many pizzas you need for how many days you have left. Put them in your freezer, and then the boys can just throw them in the oven when they are hungry and want a pizza and can eat it. But get yourself easy meals. Get your family-sized lasagna that you can just throw in the oven or microwave. Keep it crock pot if you have to cook. But really, eating pizza for 2 weeks is not going to kill you. Yeah. It's perfectly fine. So here's the thing, don't feel guilty. Oh, we're eating such unhealthy food. Really, get yourself some baby carrots. It's
more unhealthy if you have more added stress on you than eating the pizza.
It's not worth
really
the stress. It's not worth the stress.
I just thought of 2 other things. If you have to move things like the freezer or the refrigerator, those things are heavy. So you don't want to pack a lot of stuff in there. But I do put wicker baskets. I do my large plastic containers. If you got large, anything lightweight like that, put that in the freezer. Pack the freezer, the refrigerator, the washer, the dryer inside. Put those types of things, anything light in those things. But I was going to tell them about what they need to pack to take with them on the first day.
Yep, go for it.
Well, in the car, what I do is
hold on. RSD Prepper said he, I don't know, watches Hoarders.
Oh,
that'll inspire you.
Yes, watch a couple of episodes of Hoarders, and you will, even if you're not moving, watch Hoarders, and it'll get you going right away. That's good. Yeah.
I didn't mean to interrupt. That was just too good.
I did. Whenever I watch it, I would get up and clean. I wouldn't even go to bed that night unless I cleaned something, and then the next day I went for it. But
That's brilliant.
But anyway, so you need to be prepared for the first day, kind of when you get there.
Yep.
And there's certain things I always take in the car with me, not in the truck, because you don't know when that truck's going to break down. You can tell we've been there, done that.
How many times?
Breaks down, and you have to leave it someplace, so you need certain things. But especially if you can go onto the house, and have to leave the truck. So what I do is I pack my TV. I have a small. If you have a big screen TV, fancy TV, you won't be able to do this. But I just pack my small TV in the back seat. I also take, and I have just a plastic carry-all that I put my cleaning supplies in. And I do basics cleaning supplies to clean the bathroom that I'm going to need. Lots of rags in there. I even try to squeeze a broom in. If I can't, what I will do is buy a broom as soon as I get there. But it's better if you can take one, or at least put it on put your broom, your vacuum cleaner, and that stuff. Even though you have the mattress there, put the broom and the vacuum cleaner. So you can just grab that right out, especially if it's a used home, that type of thing. So I keep the cleaning supplies. I take a tool bag. I have my tool bag with pliers and both types of screwdrivers, hammer, even a little small saw, different types of things like that. So I have that in there. Then I have a box that I put a set of sheets in for every bed. Now, I have pillowcase and then the sheets and blankets if you need it. And for if it's cold, if you're moving during the cold season, because as soon as they unload those mattresses, which usually come off first before I start doing anything else, I make the beds up because I'm fresh and I want to get those beds made. And when that evening comes, you are so tired, you can't even hardly breathe.
And I would go so far as to even pull the covers back.
And make it look nice. Yeah, like in a hotel, you will collapse. I also then have in the box, I have towels and wash rags for people to take showers because you're going to get hot and sweaty. And even a shower curtain if you think you're going to need one. And then I take... it just went out of my head. I take a hand towel, I take soap and toilet paper. That those go in the bathroom as soon as I walk in the door.
Because think we'll have enough toilet paper?
I think you'll have enough toilet paper. And so I take those with me and put those as soon as I walk in the front door because everybody's going to be needing to wash their hands and use the bathroom and that type of thing. So I keep those in there. Then I have a box with a basic set of dishes, like one plate. You could do paper plates and that if you wanted to, but I just put one plate, a cereal bowl, a set of silverware, and then a few napkins. And I use mugs. I don't put glasses and mugs because a mug you can use for a glass or hot or cold. So I put a mug in for each person, and my little coffee pot I put in there. And sometimes I'll put my toaster, because I never know if the oven's going to be clean or what I'm going to be. Or even if I don't put the toaster, I'll at least take something in a food box that's simple and easy, like donuts or something.
Tarts, donuts,
easy for the first morning for
granola
breakfast.
Bars.
So have all those things that you think you will need instantly when you walk in. Also, I take my sewing machine, and it's a good thing I did. I didn't want to get buried in with all the stuff. But when I went to Idaho, like I said, everything was in the storage shed. So I only had what I had in the car to use basically for 6 months. We were able to pull a few things off the end of the storage shed, like a small rocker and a lamp. But basically, I didn't have anything else, did I, in that house for 6 months?
Yeah, she moved into a shell in an unfinished log house that was a shell. And we had to finish it.
No
before.
plumbing. I had no plumbing, nothing like that. So I just had, and Tara, I'd given the freezer to Tara, hauled the freezer back, and I happened to have a lot of my plastic containers, and those came in really handy for me to use stuff. So you got to think through all these things. I also was going to tell you, do I need to take a break?
Nope.
Another thing that I do when I'm packing stuff up to save on boxes is in my bedroom, I have a wicker clothes hamper that's about not even 3 foot tall. And it's just a wicker clothes basket with a lid. I take that into my bathroom, and every time I move, I put my scales and everything from the medicine cabinets, my shampoos, all bandages and all that type of stuff goes from the bathroom, goes in that wicker basket. Mm-hmm. And then if I can't fit it all in there, I have to get rid of some of it. I make myself get rid of it. It's just that wicker basket that I take. And then when I get to where I'm going, I see that wicker basket. It's easy for me to see, and I know immediately that just gets set right in the bathroom. And I have any bandages, anything I need, that we need for medicines and shampoos and stuff like that is already in the bathroom, even though it's in the wicker basket. Mm-hmm. And so I will do... in the garage, I had a trash can. I just bought brand new for one of my moves. That was back when the trash company didn't, give you the trash cans. You had to have your own. Mm-hmm. And I just bought this brand new trash can, and we decided to move. So it has wheels on it and a handle. It was really a nice little thing. So what I did is in the garage, I put my shovels. I had a drying rack for my clothes that folds up. I put that in there. I put my hose. I put a lot of my garden stuff, a few like my clippers, a pair of gardening gloves, you know, and stuff like that, all went into that. And so I put quite a bit of things that I could use in my yard, basic stuff that I needed for my yard and some of the garage tools and stuff. So that when we went and got the truck or was unloading the truck, I was able to just pull that off because I knew what that was without having
And I
to
do the same with the kitchen. Put
in
now
the trash can.
I clean it first. Bleach it first. But if I have a trash can that I want to keep,
Yeah.
I put it all in my trash
Yeah,
can.
you put it in your trash
Let me
can.
interrupt just a minute. Dining 2 is sold out.
Oh my word.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you guys. Thank you guys.
That's 20 more cases we don't have to move.
We have to carry every one of those cases and put them on the truck. That's why we're excited. And those books are heavy.
Now, I will say I hold back a certain amount of books for post office losses or whatever. So there may be a few that come back on in a couple of weeks after we get everything shipped out. But Dining 2 is sold out. So we have gluten-free and volume 1 and our financial planners for our Please Don't Make Us Move It 50% off sale. Please. We don't want to move it. We don't want to move it. 50% off. So, all right. Next, Mom. What did you have next? Or was that it?
I think that's getting close.
Okay, so we're going to answer a few questions real
Okay.
quick. Where are we moving? Several people have totally. I just got a paper cut. Can you get me a rag? Several
Here.
people are asking.
She's bleeding. She's not even in the kitchen and she cut herself. Now, you guys wonder why I get stressed when I watch her on the live stream in Kansas, waiting for something to happen. It's not that I don't have confidence in her.
Okay.
Give me the question, then I can answer and you can be in pain.
So several people just chimed in. Where are we moving? We are moving to Wyoming. Never thought I would say those words in my life. But I have to say, we are all really excited. I wasn't sure if the kids would be excited or not, but both Dave and Jack are just like, I can't wait to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we're super excited. We're not announcing the town until we get there. We will announce it as soon as we get there, and we will show pictures as soon as we get there.
It's nice and relaxed.
But it's a small town, so we're super excited.
It's small, but it has all the things you need, you know, like a
Yeah.
Lowe's or Walmart and that type of thing.
Yep. And Mom has not sold her house yet. She's going to put it on the market probably in a month or two. And Kathy says, I never wrap in newspaper. No, do not wrap in newspaper. It makes everything messy. And then you have to clean it.
Yeah. Yeah. You get ink and
And
stuff
it's
like
awful.
that.
You get ink all over
I
the
do
place.
save packing for my pack. I start usually a month ahead of time if I know I'm going to move, and I
Yeah.
save packaging from the pack.
Yeah.
And I do use some of that. If
Yeah.
I'm going to have to use that. But
Rob, I've missed watching your videos. I haven't had my computer, so I haven't been able to watch them. So I'm going to have to go catch up. It's good seeing you. Are we going to continue to homeschool in Wyoming? Probably. So we'll probably try the public school with Jack. Dave is graduating.
yeah.
We haven't
Can you
announced
believe
that, but Dave is graduating.
Yay!
So Dave is an official 2021 graduate. Well, he's got like 3 more tests, but his mom's going to make him graduate. So Dave has graduated. I mean, he's passing him, so it's no big deal. But so we just have Jack left, and Jack is an extrovert.
Oh,
He is
yeah.
our little extrovert.
He is.
Him and
Michael
Michael
are just
2 extroverts in the
Mhm.
family. And so we are probably going to try the public school in Wyoming. They are a lot more conservative than here, which we are happy about. And we'll see. At any given moment, we may pull him out. We have never had any good luck with any of the public schools we have ever been at. So, because we just have high standards. And we will probably do the public school for the little bit. And then we'll see how it goes.
Mhm.
So when are we moving? probably, well, our house goes on the market, went on the market today, and we will probably get an offer by the end of the weekend. We are going to show it all weekend, and then we're going to take offers Monday at noon, and we're going to let them know by Monday at 6 p.m. if we have offers. So hopefully, well, they're really expecting it to go quick. I mean, we really have a premium house. We have a premium lot. We have a 1/4 acre lot in a really good neighborhood next to the schools in a cul-de-sac with a 3-car garage and a ranch. You cannot find ranches in Colorado. Ranches are basically unheard of in Colorado. It's really hard to find a ranch. So
How many cattle do we have?
how many cattle? Oh,
Sorry, just kidding.
and so they expect it to go really quick. And oh, my iris, I'm going to have to take pictures. My iris are blooming this weekend when we're showing it, which will be perfect. So that'll be great. How to buy the soap. So Ellie, guys, I don't have any up here because we cleared everything out, but goat milk cream and the goat milk soap is all 50% off also because she's moving also. She had planned that before we found a house, but we don't want to have to move all the soap. So 50% off goatmilkgifts.com, goatmilkgifts.com, 50% off if you buy $50 or more. So that's just $25. So you can do that pretty easy. Let's see what else. Let you know Monday at 6. Maybe we'll have to go live Monday at 7 p.m. And if we if we get an offer,
We'll have to do it on a phone so we don't drop dead from all the. We've been doing
time
so
to
much,
throw
guys.
Elizabeth. Time to throw a $10,000 graduation party.
No, wait. I thought 10,000. I thought it was $10.
No, 10,000. 10K is 10,000.
Oh.
So yeah, my none of my 3 kids so far have wanted a graduation
I
party.
know. I feel so bad. We're doing basically nothing.
So Dave doesn't know it, but we're gonna throw a surprise one for him. So anyway, Dave has graduated. Wow, I've got 3, 4, I guess if you count Emily, down and 1 left to go.
1 left to go. Yep.
I'm getting old.
Mm-hmm.
Are we buying a bigger house or a smaller house? We're buying a much bigger house. We're going from it's 1.5 times what our house is now.
Yeah.
And everybody says, oh, your kids are leaving and all that. BJ and Ellie are already planning on following us up there. Mom's going to be living with us for 6 months or so. And honestly, we have friends all over the country, like Jonathan and our friend Alderman's Farms and our friends Shannon and Joe that came out here. We would love to have people visit us. You know, friends come visit us and stuff. And so we'd like to have a place. And this place has a full kitchen with 2 bathrooms and 2 bedrooms downstairs and a living room. So we're like, why not?
And
You know?
they need it. They run. It's hard for people to always understand, but this is a their
Well, that's
business.
what I was going to say.
They're not just buying a house. They're buying they have to have like a big business building with offices and packing section, you know, and that type of thing.
Yeah.
And so it's really a business and a home they're buying. And they're buying it even if I don't live with them stay in there permanently right now. In about, I gotta admit, I'm getting a little older. My grandson, he's 20. I think I maybe told you this before. He turns 26 at his last birthday he did. And I've always told the grandkids, Nan's only 26. And they believe me. For years, they think I'm only 26. Until
whatever. Like they believed you.
Well, when they're 4 and 5, they believe
They
me.
were humoring you, mother.
And so they would say, you're 26, Nan, you know, or 27, whichever. And so my grandson said, Nan, how are you going to get by with this when your grandson is the same age as you are? You're going to have to accept the fact one of these days, too, that you're older. So I have to accept the fact that I'm getting older. So even if I'm with them for a year, I will probably in 5 or 10 years have to be moving back in with them.
Yeah.
So they need that apartment place for when I move back in.
Well, and we have a big garage, a huge garage. that has a shower. I mean, it has a full bathroom and a sink already. And we were going to make it a show kitchen, but we could make that into an apartment if we needed to, and still have the whole other 2/3 of the garage for the book stuff if we wanted.
And that way, if the kids, something ever happens to the kids, you know, like if they get married and lose a spouse and they need a temporary space to live, and that, so it's really, they're buying like 2 houses and a business is what it boils down to. That's why they need.
You're
so
getting a
much.
lot of people saying hi, Jill.
Oh, hi guys.
Annabelle Louise says
I can't
hi from
see.
Sydney.
Good day. Good day. Did I say it right?
No.
No.
How do they say it? Good
That's
day.
Good day.
That's
Good
the
day.
Americanized version of
Good
it.
day.
know.
Is that the
Good
Americanized version of it? I love saying that. I think that's so cool when you guys say that.
Colleen, that's why I'm moving to a bigger house. I have 3 out of 4 kids living with me, and I need room for 2 businesses since I outgrew my space. I know.
Yeah.
I think even if all of our kids were gone, I personally would use the space just
Because she
stuff
does her
I like to
soap
do.
and things, gardening and stuff like that. She needs room.
And even if I didn't have 2 businesses, it would be nice to be able to have a great big work table that if I want to do my wreaths or whatever, or gardening or whatever, I can spread it all out, leave it there. It's not on the kitchen table, and we can have our kitchen back. You know, because like right now we're doing soap in the kitchen.
Well, you should see it now.
And
We have Michael's behind on another table with a tripod and a couple of computers. The kitchen looks like a bomb blew up in it.
Yeah.
And we do
Yesterday was empty.
Yeah, and it was, but see, every live stream, they have to do all this. And then Tara's supposed to get up and do dinner, you know, and how do you do that with that, everything all over? So,
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. Hey,
So,
Jack,
Jill,
come here.
Trinity said hi, but she also asked, how long will you be visiting?
I will be here until,
About 10 days. a
yeah,
week
about
or
10 days or so. It's always flexible. I usually come for about a week and a half, and then something comes up and I stay a day or 2 longer. I just kind of, I'm in no hurry one way or the other. So,
We need a toilet paper room, someone said. See, I agree.
yes, see?
So how old is Nan? 27? See?
See?
No hesitation.
Ah, and who's the most beautiful man in the whole wide world?
Cheryl wants to know,
It's called brainwashing,
what
guys.
is your son think about you moving? Does he want to move also?
No, I think they love Kansas. His wife was born there. He was born there. They've lived in Kansas basically all their life. They lived with Tara and Mike in Colorado for a while, but he's kind of a homebody.
People who are born in, that's the problem. He was born in Kansas and I wasn't.
Yeah, I'm sure.
People who are born in Kansas don't like to leave Kansas.
They don't. They really don't.
Really don't. And
Uh-uh.
that's not bad. It's just
It's
people who are born in Kansas and raised there their whole lives, they seem like they don't leave.
Yeah,
a
they
lot of them
don't.
don't. It's funny.
So that'll be the hardest part is leaving them. But see, both their kids are
they are.
grown, you know. My granddaughter's married and my grandson's older, you know,
Yeah.
he's 26 and I get to see him. He comes over quite often. So I'm going to miss that a little bit, but I've been there with them for 18 years now through their growing up and all that. And I haven't been as close physically as close as far as
She lived in Idaho with us for 3 years.
with BJ and Ellie. So I got to be with them.
And in Kansas
and
for
with Dave in
11 years,
Kansas. But see, Jack, I haven't been around as much. So,
Mhm.
you know, it's kind of a toss up, but at this time, it's better for me to be.
See, JD says it's really nice being empty nesters and having a lot of space. Blessed to have 2 offices and a huge garage at our home. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I honestly, everybody says, do a tiny house, do a tiny house. I want some space to do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You can't in
She
a
wants
tiny.
a separate floor than me.
Yeah, I want a separate floor.
That's how you keep the marriage going, huh, Michael? Have separate floors?
Wow, that's a really good idea.
That's a really good idea. Tara just said.
I see how you are.
Michael was joking, but Tara said that's a really good idea.
I'm only half kidding. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
Oh, Mrs. Fern gives you $5 for Pepsi and chocolate money.
Oh, thank you.
Oh.
You know what? I have been I keep running out of chocolate because I haven't been able to get my stash at the end of each holiday. And I mean, I was getting really bad really bad up until about, a week ago. I was totally out. I didn't know what I was going to do. Well, I broke into my grandkids' candy. I feel so guilty.
We call it taxes.
Oh, is that what you call
Yes.
it? And so I finally broke in and got their chocolate. But I was desperate because I've been running out. I've been having a problem keeping it in
So
stock.
Annabelle says you say, good day, how's it going? Which
Oh, you
means,
do,
hi,
don't
how
you? That's
are
right. Good day,
Right,
how's it
good day.
going? Good day.
you? Good day.
Good day. How's
Will
it
you have
going?
space to
That
soap in the new house? If my mom's not living there, yes. If mom's living there, it depends on where she's living, but we have 3 full kitchens. Well, no, we have 2 full kitchens and a half kitchen. So I should be able to soap somewhere, is what I'm thinking.
Well, I was
So-
thinking if we would just in the studio have a soap part.
Well, so the way it's set up in the big garage, it has a kitchen sink next to a bathroom. And so what we thought about was making the studio half soap and half recipe. And then we could just turn the camera whichever direction we want.
Mm-hmm.
Now, would that not be perfect? I don't know if that's going to work. But if it does, that would be really perfect. All right, guys. 50% off. Don't make us move it. Please, we beg. We really don't want to move it. Sale, 50% off Dining on a Dime Volume 1 and gluten-free. And our financial planners, guys. Don't forget our financial planners. These are a good, easy throw-in. But we have already sold out of Dining on a Dime Volume 2. Wait, ow, I'm sorry. We don't have to move it now. See, it's one
I
last.
thought you were having
We don't have to move it now. Volume 1, we have left about 1,500, and gluten-free, dairy-free, we have about 1,500, and we have about 1,500 of the financial planners. Guys, we really don't want to move
Thank
it.
you guys for your gifts. That's so sweet of you. It really
Yes,
it's
thank
really
you guys for all the
sweet.
super chat.
Mm-hmm.
So how's my cut? Actually, my cut is doing very well. I got it closed before I bled to death. On a stupid paper cut.
Paper can be lethal.
Well, look, I know. Look, so I burned myself here, cut myself here, I cut myself here, cut myself here.
I
cut
don't know
myself
how she
here.
survived childhood. I
3
really
here.
don't. I really do not know how she survived childhood.
It's crazy. So anyway, all right, guys, we are off to go pack orders and
Clean the house.
clean the house. And we are showing the house this weekend, and we are super excited. And hopefully Monday by 6 we'll have an offer. We hope. Oh, we hope. We really think we will, but we'll see. So thank you guys.
Bye-bye,
Please visit
guys.
us at livingonadime.com, and we will see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.